It's 70 degrees, the sun is peeking out, and it's a sensational Saturday at Stanford Softball Stadium. Say that 10 times fast. It is game 2 of the 3-game set between the number 19 Stanford Cardinal hosting the NC State Wolfpack. Hello, everyone. I'm Jenna Becerra with you here on the call for what should be a great one. Game 1 was all Cardinal. They took the game 11-4 over NC State under 24 hours ago. Taryn Kern hit her 16th home run of the season. She is solo for 4th in program history in the single season category. But on the flip side for NC State, Livingston, the freshman, also left the yard. And they were able to put up 4 runs against the Cardinal in game 1. Here today in game 2, this is what it's going to look like. The offense, the lineup for the Wolfpack looks like this. Maya Townsend, the center fielder, leading off. And you know what? Call her Carly Shortstop, the shortstop in the 2 spot. Carly Short, Lily Livingston, third baseman in the 3-hole. Kendall Simmers, the second baseman, hitting cleanup. Morgan Talley, today's starting pitcher. More on her in a bit. She's going to be in that 5 spot. Taryn Massey, the first baseman. The designated player, Hannah Church. Left fielder, Michaela Marbury. Right fielder, Sarah Johnson, and then behind the plate as the flex is Carmen Montesteoca. They're going to be going up against the starting pitcher, a freshman for the Cardinal, Anna Brewer. Comes in with a 4.73 ERA, a 5-2 record overall on the season. 60 2/3 innings pitched so far this year. That is second most on the staff, just behind the sophomore Zoe Prestaico. So a lot has been asked of her here in her first campaign at the collegiate level. 29 strikeouts on the year to 18 walks. Brewer, known for the down pitch, has a solid drop ball that just drops right off the table, going up against hitters, keeps it down in the zone for the most part. Produces a good amount of ground balls for this defense, which looks like this. Jade Berry over at third. All-American River Mailer at short. Another one. And potential professional player after receiving the AUSL Golden Ticket last week, Taryn Kern at second. Joey Economidis getting the start defensively over at first base today. Saw her there for the majority of her freshman campaign a year ago. And in the outfield, Emily Jones holding it down in center. And we're actually going to have 5 infielders defensively right now. So Taryn Kern is playing in. The first pitch from Brewer to Maya Townsend in the books. That's fouled on the left side. So here's the deal. Kern right now playing in that second base position. Economidis over at first with the first baseman's glove. Addison Shepard, though, in the infield as well, the freshman, playing right up the gut. And then there's Mailer in the shortstop spot with Barry over at third, closer to the line. So nobody in right field. Kira Chan over in left at the moment. That's lined on the left side once again. The strategy going up against Maya Townsend, who is hitting .372 this season. Need to protect here, 0-2. 51 hits to lead this squad. Has scored 41 runs, which is also a team high. Brewer gonna take a beat. She'll step off the rubber. Another foul into the net. Townsend yesterday was 1 for 4 with an RBI, did score a run as well. The only RBI, the only run produced outside the Livingston long ball. That was a 3-run shot. Once again, towards the NC State dugout. So technically, if you look at the scorebook at the moment, Economidis marked down as the right fielder, despite being over at first base positionally. That pitch is off the plate, outside. It's going to be the first ball going up against Townsend. Kern technically marked as the first baseman at the moment, but She's wearing her middle infielder's mitt, positioned over traditional second. That's softly down the line, third base foul, Barry on it. NC State coming in 25-18 overall on the season, 6-9 in the ACC. They came in at 10th. They've stayed there after game 1 yesterday. Down pitch is off the plate. Not a bad spot, but an even better take from Townsend to make it 2-2. Stanford 28-12 and 13-6 in the ACC, good for 5th after yesterday's win. It's a foul ball party. Pitch count ticking up a little bit, just going up against this first batter for Anna Brewer. Did not see Brewer till the end of game 1 yesterday through the last inning. No hits, runs, walks allowed. That one's off the plate to fill the count 3-2. Only threw 13 pitches, so coming into this essentially fresh. And now it's the payoff pitch. That's hit hard. Over to Mailer. Strong throw to first base. And the defensive setup pays off. 1 up, 1 down. Townsend didn't make it easy. The Cardinal able to retire. So now we're going to have some shifts defensively after that. So coming out is Sydney Bolifin going out to left. Kira Chan will move back to right. Joey Economides exits defensively, and we shift back on the right side to Shepard at second base and Taryn Kern over at first. That's the typical defense that we have seen, but the strategy, once again, paying off at the 5 infielder setup, going up against Townsend. Mailer was set up sort of in that 5-6 hole area. Had she not been, it would have poked through the infield, been a leadoff base hit and a base runner aboard for the Pack. But instead, 1 away, bases clear now for Carly Short. Carly Short, one of the freshmen on this team, swings at the first pitch in the air, foul right side. Carly Short is thrilled to be back in her home state. She's from Cameron Park, California. Hitting .327 coming into today. OPS over 1 as a freshman. .36 hits. 16 of those for extra bases. 12 doubles to lead this team with a triple and a few home runs. Check swing, did she hold? Looks like they'll say she did. Your umpiring crew for today, by the way. John Schaefer calling balls and strikes behind the plate. Jeremy Carter at first. Vince Price over at third. Hit hard into the outfield, and cutting it off in left center is Jones, and it's going to be a single for Carly Short. A nice piece of hitting from the freshman. Gets the barrel through the zone, slices right through it. Nice hard line drive to get that base runner aboard for the Wolfpack. Now it's yesterday's home run hitter, another freshman, and Lily Livingston takes ball 1 upstairs. I mentioned Livingston 1 for 4, that 3-run shot just a day ago, hitting just over 300 on the season. It was her 10th home run of the year. She'll take ball 2 inside. She has more home runs than doubles. Double-digit home runs, 9 doubles, does have a triple as well. So 20 of her 38 hits are for extra bags. 3 straight balls to Livingston as Brewer seems to be being a little careful. Livingston, just a couple of weeks ago, earned the ACC Freshman of the Week honor. And she'll take the first strike there on the inside corner. She's back on April 7th. She hit 545 that week. Was just a home run away from the cycle in Game 1 against North Carolina in that series. Swing and a miss. Count runs full. The short still over at first with one away, and the payoff. Gets her swinging. First strikeout of the day, second out of the inning. And a big time one for Anna Brewer. So Livingston is retired. It's 2 away here for Kendall Simmers. Another underclassman, the sophomore in the cleanup spot. Fouls the first pitch off. Simmers from Bridgewater, Virginia, hitting .355 this year. One of 4 hitters in this starting lineup who has an OPS above 1. All 43 games started this season. That pitch is in there for a strike. Brewer took a little off it to jump ahead 0-2. Short's got some speed over at first. 11 stolen bases on the year. Simmers will need to protect. Fouls that pitch off, staying alive. And Ava Gall, who's behind the dish, running after it. Gall made a fantastic diving catch on the right side near Stanford's dugout in the 7th inning yesterday. Coach Allister even patting her on the back afterwards, former All-American catcher herself. That pitch misses up. One-two count here with 2 outs. Fisted in the air, popped up just in front of third base, and Jade Berry makes the grab. So a solid top half of the inning for Anna Brewer and company. Runner is stranded over at first base. Nothing across for NC State. Stanford will pick up the bats as we head to the bottom of the first. Back at it here in the bottom of the first inning. The Cardinal able to put a 0 up on the board for the top half. They will pick up the bats now. And this is what that's going to look like. The leadoff, Taryn Kern, who hit her 16th home run of the season yesterday. Emily Jones hitting second. She's exactly at 400 in terms of batting average this season. Kira Chan in the 3 spot. River Mailer, the shortstop, in the cleanup. Jade Berry, number 5. Joey Economides, who we saw on the field briefly, but has slid into the DP role, 6th. Ava Gall, 7th. Addison Shepard, the second baseman, 8th. And Sydney Bulifin, who's now in left field, rounding it out. They will face the freshman, Morgan Talley, who sneaks a first pitch strike in there to Taryn Kern. Talley due up first offensively for NC State when they get back into the dugout, but has some business to take care of first. Second pitch misses low and away. Talley, the freshman out of Palm Harbor, Florida. 3.34 ERA, 12-6 on the season. She's creeping up to a freshman single-season record with those 12 wins as that pitch misses. 96 in a third innings pitched this season. 92 strikeouts to 55 walks. Head coach Lindsay Leftwich talked about how key this recruiting class was, bringing in Tally and company. And the two-way player given a ton of flexibility. I mentioned earlier, but we'll say it again, Carmen Montes de Oca, the flex behind the plate, working as the battery. That pitch is in there to make it a full count. Kern known to go deep in the count. This is what the rest of the defense looks like. Livingston at third. Carly shortstop. Carly Short at short. And Simmers at second. Massey at first. Marbury, Townsend, and Johnson left to right. In the grass, as that is fouled back by Kern. So many things you could say about Taryn Kern. Just the second undergraduate transfer ever to come into the Stanford program. Payoff. Yanks it deep, but well foul onto the batting cages on Stanford's side. Kern leading the team with her entire slash line. Hitting .415, .975 slugging, which is right now at the top of the record books for single season for Stanford. Yanked. Foul once again, but on a line this time down right field. Kern's known for her high on-base percentage as well, .559 this season. Leads the nation in active players in both walks and hit by pitch. 174 in her career based on balls, and 70 times she has been hit and taken one for the team to get on base. 3-2 again. That time goes to the outer half, and Kern gets a piece to stay alive. Both leadoff hitters for these squads, seeing a ton of pitches from the starting hurlers, forcing them to add to the pitch count early. Let your teammates on deck and in the dugout see the sequence, get a sense for what she's throwing. Another one. Something Kern was focused on coming into her final season at the collegiate level was cutting down the strikeouts as well. Walks a lot, gets hit a lot, as we mentioned. Hits a lot of home runs. Tied the single season record last year at 19. Just 25 strikeouts this year. That is launched into the outfield and clears it. TK 99 with home run number 17 on the season. Taryn Kern deep into the count and deep out of the ballpark. The Cardinals strike first. Taryn Kern with her 40th RBI this season to lead the team. It's only April 18th. She's already got 40 ribbies as the leadoff hitter. So now Emily Jones, another All-American from a year ago, serving as a secondary leadoff. Stands in to hit away to take strike one. And by the way, that home run from Taryn Kern, 232 feet, 72 miles per hour on the exit velocity. That pitch is fouled by Jones. As mentioned, standing in to hit away initially here in this at-bat, has dropped a bunt for a single in this series alone, does it often. Multi-dimensional from that left side, the senior from Westlake Village, California. Hit 400 on the dot. Takes the off-speed down for ball one. Good idea from Tally. An offense like this Stanford team, you'll need to mix in different speeds. 1-2. Right back where it came from. Jones on a line off the glove of Tally It'll go out to center field, and she's on base with the single. Another solid at bat from the Cardinal. Jones behind in the count, starts 0-2, works it back. Hard hit right back up the middle. And now you have speed over at first base for the 3-hitter, another senior, Kira Chan. Squares to bunt, just foul left side. Mentioned all the tools that Emily Jones had from the left side. So does Kira Chan. Chan has some pop. In fact, slugging .645 this season. 5 home runs, 26 RBIs. She's got speed as well. Standing in to hit that time and takes that ball upstairs to make it 1-1. Jan hitting .395 as she'll foul that pitch off. It's been right around that 400 range throughout the season, a 1.125 OPS. She is looking for hit number 50 on the season. That includes 18 for extra bases. Swing and a miss. Talley gets the strikeout, but Jones will dive in safely with the stolen base at second. So 1 away. Jones now in scoring position. Emily Jones a perfect 12 for 12 in stolen base attempts this year. Third All-American in the lineup for Stanford, stepping in with River Mailer, who takes ball 1. By the way, that was stolen base number 41 in the career of Emily Jones. She's just a couple away from tying for 7th all-time. That's lined into the outfield through the 5-6 hole, sending her no hesitation. Jones dives across home plate safely, and Mailer notches the RBI double. River Mailer stepping up in the cleanup, doing her job, switching places with Jones. It's 2-0 ball game with Stanford on top. So a similar situation here. As the 1 out still on the board, speed at second with Jade Berry in the box. Berry, the junior, out of Queen Creek, Arizona. Comes from a Diamond Sports family. Sister plays softball at Arizona. They played against each other in the preseason right here at Stanford Softball Stadium. She fouls that pitch back to make it 1-1. Her brother Jacob also picked in the first round by the Marlins back in 2022. 2-time All-American. Won the Golden Spikes Award. Off speed, gets her swing in. Now 1-2 count from Talley. Perry's hitting .321. .333 with runners in scoring position. Takes that pitch off the plate. .35 ribbies in 2026 so far. That's in the dirt. Berry also the hero in Game 3 of the series against Florida State just a week ago. The sweep over the top 10 Seminoles for the Cardinal. Extra innings, she got the walk-off single to bring in the winning run. Chopped. It's gonna go behind Montesteoka. Berry made the All-ACC third team a year ago. In fact, a conference high 7 honorees returning this year. A swing and a miss there from Talley. Second strikeout of the day, and they've both come at important moments. 2 away here in the bottom of the first, and that's going to bring up Joey Economides. First pitch is down for ball 1. And the first righty of the day that Morgan Talley will face. I always think about how a pitcher responds after giving something up. After the home run and the single to start off, she gets the strikeout to Chan. Off speed misses there to make it 2-0. Then she gives up the double to Mailer and the RBI, but then strikes out Barry. So somewhat of a mixed bag here, but Talley continuing to compete. But 3 straight balls here to Joey Economides. A sophomore from West Covina, California. 15 bombs last year. Had one earlier this week at Fresno State in the midweek. Led the team 2 for 3. And she'll take strike 1 there to make it 3-1. Slightly slower start for Economides in her sophomore campaign, but hitting .287, 5 home runs, 32 RBIs, and she'll take ball 4 there. That is her 18th walk of the season. Another runner aboard. And the catcher, Ava Gall, shedding her gear. She was ready either way, whether she was going to hit, whether they were going to go back on defense. Now she's stepping in the box as the starting catcher. Academic junior, but a redshirt sophomore athletically. Taking a first pitch strike from Talley. She's known as Flava Gall from Lakeside, California. That pitch is in there. So after allowing the walk, Talley with an early 0-2 count here to Ava Gall. Gall was 2 for 2 yesterday with a few ribbies. She'll take ball 1 there. Did not see Morgan Talley yesterday. Wyman got the start. Charlie Orsini came in, and Feckel went the last 3 1/3. That's up and away. And it's Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners aboard. In the air, popped up. Going back in the shallow green to make the grab is short, and that will do it. But some damage has been done. Cardinal get on the board first. 2-0 lead. The solo shot from Taryn Kern and the RBI double from River Mailer. After 1, Stanford up. NC State picking up the bats next. One inning in the books. Number 19 Stanford Cardinal up 2-0 over NC State here in Game 2 of the ACC Series. Jenna Becerra here with you on the call. Anna Brewer still in the circle for the Cardinal. Bit of a cushion now with the 2-run spot given to her by her offense. Someone who has something to say about it potentially is Morgan Talley leading things off. It is 5-6-7 offensively due up here for the Wolfpack. First pitch from Brewer misses for ball one. We talked about Talley in the circle, but in the box. Big impact already this season as well. 331 average. She'll take strike one there from Brewer. One of the four with an OPS over 1 in this lineup. 43 hits, 11 home runs in the mix, along with 6 doubles. Takes that pitch inside. Talley, a true utility. Two-way player. Having one of the best freshman campaigns across the nation. Lifts that into left field. On the run, coming in to make the grab is Sydney Bolifin. The sophomore covering a ton of ground out there in left. An important first out for the Cardinal. And the outfield giving some respect to Morgan Talley in that situation, knowing she's got some pop. So Bolifin was actually somewhat deep in the green. Had a lot of ground to cover. Got a nice jump to make the catch. First pitch is swung on and missed by Taryn Massey. First baseman. Hitting .261 this season. She'll take ball one. Sophomore. From North Carolina. Lindsay Leftwich says she's emerged as one of the leaders on this team. She takes a strike there from Anna Brewer. Some strong underclassmen. That is a theme with this NC State team. Massey will need to protect here with 2 strikes. Does it softly up the middle, off the glove of Mailer. Plenty of time for Massey to make it to first base. Not a ton of time for that one. It was softly off the bat. Bouncing, giving Massey enough time to get down there. Even if it was fielded cleanly, it would have been a close play over at first. That is ruled an infield hit. So the single with 1 away gives a base runner for the DP, Hannah Church. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it straight back. Church, a senior out of Land O'Lakes, Florida. That's it over to short again, softly. Underhanded to second to get the lead runner. Not quite in time at first base. But Massey is erased at second. 2 away. Mailer did a nice job of not moving too fast through that play. That had some spin on it. A little bit of a weird hop, but she saw it all the way in the glove before she shoveled it over to second base to guarantee that out. The first pitch is inside to Michaela Marbury. Brewer takes some off that pitch, evens it up 1-1. Marbury, a senior out of Maryland. .226 average. Hits it over to Barry. Sticks with it. Throw over to first. So back-to-back innings where a runner is stranded by the Cardinal defense. Another clean top half from Stanford. They lead 2-0 over NC State. Heading to the bottom of the second, it's 8-9-1 due up next. Bottom of the second inning, bottom of the order due up here for the Cardinal. Stanford up 2-0 over NC State. As Addison Shepard, the freshman, set to lead things off here. And she was the hero in game 1 of the Florida State series here on the farm a week ago. The walk-off grand slam. 2 outs, down by 3. Bottom of the 7th inning. The freshman stepped up. Hitting .293 overall this season, 29 RBIs. First time she's seeing Morgan Talley today. Starts off with the 2-0 count. Head coach Jessica Allister was very excited to get Addison Shepard here on the farm. Knew she'd be an immediate impact. Fouls that pitch off. Aggressive there with the 2-0 count. Shepard named to the D1 softball freshman watch list coming into this year alongside her teammate Izzy Kakatian. Allister knew she could swing it, knew she was solid defensively, and broke into the lineup immediately. Off speed. Well executed and way out in front was Shepard. Even count now 2-2. We talked an inning ago about how important the change of speeds was going to be for Morgan Talley going up against this offense. I'd consider throwing it again if I were her. Took a little off that pitch, but down. Count now full. Fouls it off her leg. And NC State finishes the play defensively, but it is a foul ball. We'll do it again, 3-2. Coach Allister checking on Shepard. That never feels great. Stings a little bit. See some hitters wear the protective gear on that front leg for that reason. But we'll do the payoff again. Waits on it, right into the glove on a line, and Livingston snags it. So Talley will win the battle, and it's out number 1 recorded for NC State. Well, they call it the hot corner for a reason. Not a bad at-bat at all from Shepard, making the adjustment there. Lined right into the glove of Short this time. Bulletin wasted no time, attacks the first pitch. Back-to-back lineouts, 2 away. If you're Morgan Talley, you're gonna take that all day long. You don't have to strike everyone out, although she's already got a couple of Ks on the day, but just get hitters to miss enough. Make it playable for your defense, hit it right at them, that'll work. And back to the top of the order. Taryn Kern takes low and away. Of course, the solo shot last time up. Got things going, got the party started. Second day in a row she did that. Leading off with the long ball. That'll catch the outside corner. And the defense in the infield shifted slightly. Short playing up the middle towards second base. Livingston really plugging that 5-6 hole, and that off speed is swung on and missed. Bit of a gap down the third base line. Outfield playing a little more straight up and a touch deep. Talley in control with the 1-2 count. Off the plate. That home run was Taryn Kern's 50th hit of the season, her 40th RBI. Also got 30 walks on the year. Takes ball 3 there. Kern is not known for chasing. Off speed, got her. Morgan Talley shuts it down. A 1-2-3 inning for NC State. Little pep in their step as they'll pick up the bats heading into the top of the third. Two innings in the books and still a 2-run lead for number 19 Stanford over NC State. A 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Wolfpack. That'll bring up 9-1-2. So Sarah Johnson takes a first pitch strike from Anna Brewer, the right fielder. The top of the order awaits on deck. Johnson hitting .262 this year. .368 as a leadoff as she fouls that pitch off. Johnson out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Played at Gaston College and McLennan Community College in the JUCO ranks before making her way to NC State. Pitch just misses. Make it 1-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Second strikeout of the day for Anna Brewer, and she's brewing. One away here in the top of the third inning. And it is back to the top of the order and back to the defensive setup that we saw in the first inning. So Joey Economides coming back in defensively over at first base. Sydney Bulletin exiting the outfield. Chan moving to left. Right field is wide open. 5 infielders on the dirt as Shepard is camped out a couple steps to the left of second base. Kern has shifted over in between first and second. Cardinal have seen the success with the strategy first time up. And as mentioned, technically in the books, if you're scoring at home, Economides is in right field right now. She came in for Bulletin, technically. But they have opted for her to play positionally over at first base. First pitch ball to Maya Townsend. Grounded out to River Mailer last time. Squares to bunt. Takes a strike. And if you're Townsend, this is part of the mental game. Trying to make the adjustment. You see what the defense is doing against you. She chops it up the middle. Shepard right there, making the throw to first base. So back-to-back plate appearances for the Stanford defense. The strategy paying off. 2 up, 2 down. And just like that, Economides will exit. Kern goes back to a standard first base, puts the first baseman's glove on. Bulletin back in left. Chan moves back over to right. And that's tough. That is in a typical traditional defensive setup, a base hit for Townsend most likely, because that was chopped nicely up the middle, giving her enough time to run, but Shepard was just right there. First pitch is going to hit Carly short. She'll take one for the team. Getting on base, back-to-back plate appearances. Singled last time. First hit of the day for NC State. She'll take that one to get over to first once again. You could hear it, even from up here in the press box. I could hear it make contact with her, but she's staying tough over there. You can't let them see you sweat. Can't let them see you rub it. And in that moment, that's going to do it for Anna Brewer, and we are going to have a pitching change in the circle for Stanford. The sophomore Zoe Prostyko coming in from the bullpen to start getting her warm-up pitches in. The only lefty on this staff for Stanford. Has thrown the most innings this season as well for the Cardinal. 162 strikeouts on the year. That leads the ACC. Coming into the week, she was in the top 12 nationally in that category, and her strikeouts per 7 innings, double digits. That was in the top 10 in the nation. And in the ACC, ranked second in strikeout to walk ratio, third in whip, fourth in overall innings pitched. It's 112, as well as 13 wins, sixth in hits allowed per 7th. And prior to this season, her career high for a single game strikeout count was 8. She's already hit that or exceeded it 7 times this season. So Prostyko getting her warm-up pitches in, got the face mask on, and she now goes up against the number 3 hitter, Lily Livingston. Struck out last time up, and that was against Anna Brewer. First pitch is down. Gall goes for the pick. Diving back safely is Carly Short. Seen Gall get a little bit more confident, trying to manage the base runners. Threw out Isa Torres, trying to steal second last weekend. Pitch is fouled. Isa Torres, the star of not only Florida State, not only the ACC, but one of the best players in the nation. Now hitting just under 600, but for most of the season has been around that 600 number. In the conversation for National Player of the Year, as that is swung on and missed. And has a ton of speed. So impressive moment for Gall to mow her down when she did. And Zoe Prostyko trying to do the same here with the 1-2 count to Livingston. That's going to go up and over on the wild pitch. Advancing to second is Short. That one getting away from Prostyko. Runner in scoring position. First time that NC State can say that today. 2-2. Chopped over to short. Mailer, throw to first. Gets it done. So for the 3rd inning in a row, a base runner aboard and a base runner stranded by NC State. Stanford up by 2, heading to the bottom half of the inning. Jones, Chan, and Mailer scheduled to hit. Emily Jones set to lead off here for the Cardinal in the bottom of the third inning. Second time through the order now for Stanford. Morgan Talley still in the circle for NC State. Jones takes the first pitch for ball one. She singled with a line drive back up the middle her first time up. Stole second. Came around to score on the RBI double from River Mailer. That was run number 2 for the Cardinal today. Squares to bunt. Beautiful down the first base line. Letting it go foul. Smart play from Montes de Oca. Nearly a textbook bunt from Emily Jones. And it really is artistry when you see a quality bunt executed. Anything inside as a lefty hitter, you kind of take that with you down the first base line, but just got over the chalk. And a great read again defensively to let that one go, knowing the speed of Jones. 1-1. Big swing and a miss. The count running to 1-2 takes away the bunt opportunity. So you saw the corners playing up, particularly Livingston. They'll take some steps back now, knowing that Jones got to protect. Up and out. Productive first inning offensively for Stanford. Quieter one back in the second. Jones runs the count to full here in the third. Shepard and Bulifin hitting some solid line drives right at defenders on the left side of the infield. And Kern with the strikeout. That's chopped up the middle. Jones has speed, cutting it off. Not enough time on the transfer. Short, unable to finish. Jones likely at first regardless. That'll go down as an infield single. So back-to-back singles for Jones. She worked back from 2 strikes in both of her at-bats so far today. Stole second last time, and now it's Kira Chan. Chan struck out swinging her first time up. On that same pitch as when Jones took off and took second base. First couple pitches just miss from Morgan Talley. Three straight balls. There's a strong lead from Emily Jones over at first on that last pitch. Swinging away, green light on the 3-0 count for Kira Chan, just missed it. Just curious how aggressive she might be in that moment. Coach Alistair feels like Kira Chan really on the same level as the All-Americans on this team. Outside, Jones taking second, but it's ball 4 regardless. So 2 aboard here with no outs for the cleanup River Mailer. And we're gonna have a conversation in the circle for NC State. Lindsay Leftwich, the head coach in her 3rd season for the Wolfpack. Her former player, Paige Cassidy, on staff, typically works with the pitchers, but just had a baby recently, so is not with the team currently, but works with the bullpen in depth. Mike Bosch, Grayson Radcliffe, rounding out the staff under Leftwich. Bosch has been a boss, as Coach Leftwich said. Was a Syracuse head coach for a few years, also on staff at Florida for 5 years, Iowa Community College head coach for 13 years, won a couple of national championships at that level. He's really the data guy, she says. All about player development. Grayson Radcliffe, two-time All-Big Ten player at Indiana. Really a staff she says she relies on, as that bunt is laid down beautifully by Mailer. She'll be thrown out at first, but the sacrifice is successful. Back-to-back productive plate appearances for River Mailer. Follows up the RBI double with the sacrifice, and it's 2 in scoring position. That brings up Jade Berry, who struck out last time up. Check swing. She went for it. Lined into left. Foul. Berry now hitting .318 on the season, .327 with runners in scoring position. Tied for the team lead with 12 doubles alongside Taryn Kern. Low and away. Morgan has run up the tally in terms of pitch count, pushing 70 here in the 3rd inning. That goes upstairs. Does have 3 strikeouts on the day. A couple of walks issued. That's hit hard over to second base. They'll get the sure out at first, but a productive and intelligent out from Jade Berry to bring in the RBI. Jones comes in to score. Chan advances to 3rd. It's 2 away. That is exactly what you're taught to do. Hit the ball hard on the ground to the right side when you have that runner over at 3rd base. And Jade Berry executed in the moment. 3-0 lead for the Cardinal. Joey Economides. Walked last time up, takes ball 1 here. Economides known for her closed stance in the box. One thing you can tell from the beginning of that Florida State series last weekend till now, the timing has just improved. She has more of a rhythm. Improved from at-bat to at-bat. Takes a strike there. Hit hard on the ground, diving and plugging that 5-6 hole to make the play is Livingston. The web gem from the freshman over at 3rd base. And that will end the 3rd inning. 1 more comes across. The RBI from Jade Berry to make it 3-0 Stanford over NC State. Top of the 4th coming up next. Top of the 4th inning, middle of the order due up for NC State. Wolfpack trail 3-0 to the host, Stanford Cardinal, here in game 2. Kendall Simmers will lead things off. Takes ball 1 from Perstyko, who came in to relieve the starter, Anna Brewer. Induced the ground out from Livingston to get out of the top of the 3rd inning. Simmers popped up to Jade Berry. And takes a strike there to even up the count 1-1. Down and in. Simmers was uncommitted going into her senior year of high school, but then attended an NC State camp in the fall and impressed the coaches. So much so that they offered her a scholarship after the camp, offered her a spot on the team. Sophomore hitting here in the cleanup spot. Line drive hit hard into the netting on the left side. Lindsay Leftwich said the way that they organize their leadership, they don't necessarily vote for captains and have an official process in that way. That is a called strike 3 from Zoe per strikeout. Her first of the day, and it's of the backward K variety. It's number 163 on the season. And that brings up the pitcher, Morgan Talley. She'll take a strike 1. Talley, one of the leaders by example on this team, just a freshman, the reigning freshman of the week in the ACC, has earned 3 of those honors this year. She hit .500, .938 slugging, 13 RBIs, 8 hits, 2 of which were grand slams. Scored 4 runs. That was in the Cal Series last weekend that was hosted in Raleigh. Big swing and a miss there. But in addition to that, in the circle, she went 3-0 on the week, had a save, 14 strikeouts, and 11 innings pitched. So not only the ACC Freshman of the Week, but the D1 Softball National Freshman of the Week as well. Trying to help herself out here. Takes ball 2. Coach Leftwich said Morgan Talley still figuring out how to let that confidence loose. Swing and a miss there, and Zoe Perstyko confident with back-to-back strikeouts. She has retired the first 3 hitters that she has faced. Perstyko, one of 3 arms on this Stanford team just a season ago, got a ton of experience under her belt as a freshman, came into her sophomore season locked in. In the offseason, even worked with pitching coach Danielle O'Toole-Trejo to develop a drop ball. In January, Tooley, as they call her, went to Coach Allister and said, all smiles, Zoe's got a drop ball. They saw it going to work, live at bats against her teammates in January. And we're really excited with the movement. And she has brought that in as one of her tools this season. And now a 1-1 count she's working with here to Taryn Massey. Pitches off the plate. Massey singled last time up against Anna Brewer. Two-one. In the air, popped up, shallow outfield communication, and Jones will make the grab. A 1-2-3 inning for the Stanford Cardinal defensively. They continue to roll. Prstyko has faced the minimum, retired 4 straight. Bottom of the 4th coming up next. Cardinal up 3-0 over the Wolfpack. Bottom of the 4th, bottom of the order due up here for Stanford. Ava Gall to lead things off. She popped up to short her first time up back in the 1st. This time it's lifted into left, going back, it's deep, it's gone. Flava adds a little spice to that one. Wasting no time attacking the first pitch that she saw. That is the 4th long ball of the season for Gall and the 4th run of the ball game for Stanford. Stanford fans on their feet here in Stanford Softball Stadium. 2nd long ball for the Cardinal in this one. Addison Shepard now will take her shot. First pitch will miss. And this time, Ava Gall taking that one 224 feet, exit velocity at 71 miles per hour. Tally's gonna switch out the softball here. She's trying to reset. She's 2-0 here to Addison Shepard, who lined out over to 3rd base last time. Right into the glove of Livingston, who was ready for it, but it was hit hard. Comes back with a strike. That's one of the challenges of being a 2-way player. You have the responsibility in the circle. Coming off of a strikeout offensively in your last at-bat, you got to shake that, move forward. Giving up a home run, okay, you got to shake that off as well and move forward. Did a nice job of that. Back in the 1st inning. Getting a strikeout after both of those first 2 runs were scored. That pitch is called a strike on the inside corner. Shepard thought she had ball 4. Instead, it'll be 3-2. There's ball 4. So Shepard does make her way down to first base. First time she's been aboard today. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Sydney Bolifin. Still no outs with Shepard over at first. I'm interested to see the adjustment that Morgan Talley makes right here. You give up the home run, then you issue the walk. How are you going to respond? Attacking the number 9 hitter, she produces the fly out to center field on the first pitch. An efficient battle she had against Bulafin. And that's what you need to do. You have to attack the hitters, attack the strike zone. Now she's got one away, but back to the top of the order. And it's been a mixed bag. These two going at it. Kern with the solo shot, her first at bat. Tally got her with the strikeout, second time up. First pitch will miss to make it a 1-0 count. Senior in the box, freshman in the circle. That's off the plate. Mentioned how nice of a day it is at the top of the broadcast. 75 degrees here on campus at Stanford. Check swing fouled. That'll make it 2-1. And it's Cardinal Palooza on campus. Multiple teams, multiple sports hosting today. Softball in addition to baseball just next door. Men's volleyball will be hosting, beach volleyball hosting. Some fan festivities available on campus if you're in the area. And Tally finds a zone there. 2-2. Three Ks on the day for Morgan Tally. She's up to 95 this season. Make it 96. Back-to-back strikeouts, getting the top hitter on this Stanford offense. And a big second out here in the fourth. Strikeout number 4 on the day. 4 away from hitting triple digits just as a freshman. Emily Jones squares to bunt, goes for it, and that'll be strike 1. Back-to-back singles from Jones. First one, a line drive up the middle. Second one was chopped up the middle, giving her some time. Utilizing the speed. She has scored both times. Standing in to hit, takes that pitch off the plate. Jones had an All-American season last year as a junior. Swinging away here to foul it off. Second team All-ACC. 7th in the conference and second on the team, hitting .413 a year ago. Had multiple hits in half the ball games, 24 out of 48 games played. Held on that pitch there. 2-2 with 2 outs. Shepard still over at first. That's lined into right center. Shepard coming around second, will stop at third. Standing up at second base, Emily Jones. The 2-out double for the senior. Stanford not done yet here in the fourth. So runners on second and third. 2 outs for the number 3 hitter, Kira Chan. And we're seeing Montes de Oca go have a quick chat with Morgan Tally in the circle. Freshman battery all around for NC State. Montes de Oca, the flex, just playing defense today as Tally's going both ways. Trying to get on the same page here as they'll face Kira Chan. She walked last time. Pitch is up. Should the inning extend, River Mailer, of course, awaiting on deck. Responsible for one of the RBIs here today. 6 hits on the day so far for the Cardinal. 4 runs on those bad boys, and it's been efficient. So that off speed is in there for a strike from Tally. Just missed. Kira Chan, a senior. Underrated on the national scene, according to head coach Jessica Allister. That's grounded up the middle, backhanded over at second. Plenty of time for Chan. That's going to bring 2 across. The speedy Emily Jones coming all the way from second base. Her and Shepard make it 6-0 Cardinal. The RBI infield single from Chan. And that is tough. Simmers, not a lot you can do on that. A nice backhanded pick to make that throw over to first base. Just too much speed from Kira Chan. And River Mailer takes ball 1. Jones and Chan getting a 2-out party started. Mailer trying to keep it going. She'll foul that pitch off down the first base line. Mailer also with an All-American year last year. Her and Jones representing. It's actually the 3rd straight year there's been at least one on this Stanford team. Nice pitch there on the corner from Talley. Mailer led the team and was 5th in the ACC, hitting .429 a season ago. Taking off is Chan. She'll slide in. Not gonna happen. Montes de Oca mows her down at second base. Head coach Jessica Allister having a couple of questions there, and she will officially ask for the video review. As it stands, call on the field is that Montes de Oca able to get Chan caught stealing at second base. Should it stand, 4th inning would be in the books. We'd stay at 6-0 Stanford over NC State. And the umpiring crew are gonna go take a second look, maybe a 3rd and a 4th. And for those who are in the stadium, taking a look at the video board, the scoreboard out in left field, showing some of the replays, some of the angles that may be seen by the umpires when they're taking a second look. And for Chan, that was her 6th attempt at stealing this season. She was 5 for 5 prior to this. And of note, that tag a little bit high on the body of Kira Chan sliding into second base. So that's the question that head coach Jessica Allister has. She was tagged up closer to her upper body, so does her foot slide in safely at second base before the tag is applied? This is why it's important too what the initial call is, though. There has to be enough evidence that the umpiring crew can see where they feel confident in overturning what was already called. A nice throw from Montes de Oca, either way, getting it down to second base. Is in the middle of River Mailer's at-bat as well, so should it be overturned, she'll continue in the box. And we're gonna get the decision. Call on the field has been confirmed. So Montes de Oca gets Chan at second base and mows her down. And that will end the 4th. Stanford up 6-0 over NC State. The Wolfpack gonna try to take some of that momentum as Church, Marbury, and Johnson are scheduled up next. NC State able to stop the bleeding in the bottom of the fourth. 3 more runs came across for Stanford. Jones with the RBI, Gall with the home run. And they are up 6-0 over the Wolfpack. Hannah Church trying to get something going here. Reached on the fielder's choice back in the second inning. First pitch, out to right field, right into the glove of Kira Chan. An efficient first out for Zoe Pristyko. An NC State team currently 10th in the standings in the ACC, picked 12th in the preseason poll. That's out of 15 teams. Kayla Marbury now stepping in. Squares to bunt, fouls it off. Important to be in that 10 spot in the top 10 in conference standings because that's who gets to go to the ACC tournament. Last year, the Wolfpack finished 14th overall in the standings in the regular season, did not make the ACC tournament. They would like to get back there this year. That pitch misses from Pristyko. NC State with 5 NCAA tournament appearances as well. The last coming in 2015. In the dirt. Head coach Lindsay Leftwich in her 3rd season. She's 80-70 overall at NC State. It's her first head coaching stop. Has been in Raleigh. She spent a number of years, 12 to be exact, as an assistant at LSU alongside head coach Beth Torina. Did a little bit of everything: defense, hitting, recruiting, video, camps. 4 Women's College World Series the team went to during her time, including 2 finals, 7 super regionals, 12 regional appearances. Every single year she was there, they made the tournament. Marbury pulls back the bunt to take ball 3. Pristyko tries to go into the righty, but she'll miss with ball 4. Marbury drawing the walk, getting a much-needed base runner aboard for the Wolfpack. First base runner that Pristyko has allowed since entering the ballgame. She had retired 5 straight. Now she'll face Sarah Johnson, who struck out her last time up. Johnson played baseball her entire life. Has it in her blood. That is lifted into the outfield. Coming in on the run, calling everyone off is Emily Jones, and it's out number 2. Both outs coming via the fly out to the green. 2 away with Marbury still over at first. And it is back to the top of the order. So yes, you guessed it. Maya Townsend comes up. The defense is gonna shift for the Cardinal. Pitching coach Danielle O'Toole-Trejo coming out to have a conversation with Pristyko and Gall, making sure they're on the same page. As Bulifin exits left, Chan moves from right to left. Economides comes in to play down the first base line as Kern and Shepard shift towards the middle. So 5 infielders, 2 outfielders, back at it again. Wide open right field. The strategy has worked twice. Grounded out to Mailer, then grounded out to Shepard. Square into bunt, pulling back for ball 1. Townsend now hitting .367, .439 on base percentage. Lifted into left field, foul territory on the run. Kira Chan making it look easy. She moves from right to left, she covers ground and makes the grab. The strategy is clear, the execution on point. Stanford gets out of the top of the 5th. No runs allowed. They're still up by 6 over NC State. New pitcher in the circle for NC State. Kendall Week coming in, the Wisconsin native. Made her way to NC State via Madison College. Only has a couple of innings pitched on the season. 5 hits allowed, 5 runs all earned, 3 strikeouts to 4 walks. This is her 5th appearance overall on the year. Very small sample size for the ERA, which is a bit bloated at the moment. But she'll start off by going up against River Mailer. Mailer was up to bat when Montes de Oca caught Kira Chan stealing at second to end the 4th. So she gets to do it again, takes ball 1 from Week. Second pitch in there for a ball. Kendall Week and Katie Becker, both only with a couple of innings pitched. Coming into this one, the least amount on this staff. 7 total arms who have seen time here in 2026. And it's 3 straight balls to River Mailer. Kendall Week says she's a true Midwesterner at heart. Loves fishing, hunting, anything outdoors, including softball. But 4 straight balls there to allow the leadoff walk to River Mailer. She has been aboard 3 straight times. Check that, 2 out of 3. RBI double, then did lay down the sack, and then now the walk for her 2nd time on base. Barry 0 for 2, but a productive second AB, grounding out to second to bring in another run for Stanford. It was back in the 3rd inning. Off speed in there for a strike. Barry thought about it, but held. I think Tally saw some success when she mixed that pitch in. I think Week should consider continuing to mix that pitch in now. Does it again. Jumping ahead 0-2 with back-to-back off speeds. Stanford's put the bat on the ball. They have 7 hits and they've scored 6 runs off of those. But we haven't quite seen a full adjustment on the off speed yet, so keep throwing it till they show it. She does it 3 times in a row. Down the first base line, they'll get the lead at second. Not enough time to turn 2, but a nice defensive play by Massey over at first. So Mailer is eliminated at second. Barry reaches on the fielder's choice. One away. So Barry over at first for Joey Economides, 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. Swings at the first pitch, goes opposite field, little hip turn out there and right. Johnson makes the grab. And an efficient second out. 2 away. So far, so good for Kendall Week. Ava Gall, the home run hitter from an inning ago. And conversation here with head coach Lindsay Leftwich. Potentially looking to make a change, and she will. So Week coming out doing her job, getting a couple of outs for NC State. She will pass the ball to Kayla Feckel. Wolfpack fans putting their hands together for a solid, quick outing from Week. Feckel, the redshirt sophomore out of Ashburn, Virginia. Actually played with the Panama national team when she was 15 and 16 years old. Has been through it a bit with some injuries. Tore both her ACLs and her meniscus twice. Actually had to have her right meniscus removed. So as she puts it, her knee sounds like Velcro when it's being bent. But she has fought through it to be able to compete at this level here with the Wolfpack. Feckel came in yesterday in game 1 as well, threw 3 1/3, allowed a couple of hits, 1 earned run. Issued 4 walks, had a couple of strikeouts. 1 wild pitch, so she faced 16 total batters through 59 pitches. And outside the strikeouts, was able to induce 6 fly balls and 2 grounders yesterday. That's what ended game 1 in terms of who was in the circle. The majority of runs already on the board for the Cardinal prior to that yesterday. A 10-4 victory. Or 11-4, but 10 at the time prior to the additional run scored off of Feckel. Gall works the count to 2-0. Gall has just looked good in the box. She has actually walked quite a bit in the last few ball games. But even her takes, she looks on time, takes a strike there. Has connected, of course, the home run, her last at bat, but a couple of hits yesterday with 3 RBIs as well. Took a little off that pitch. Count moves to 3-1. Gall herself was out last season due to illness. Came back this year and laces this into right field, and on the run making the grab is Johnson. So Feckel comes in and gets out of the jam. No runs come across for the Cardinal for the first time in a few innings. They still lead 6-0 over the Wolfpack as we head to the top of the 6th. Zoe Prstyko still in the circle for the Cardinals. She's thrown 2 1/3 in relief. A couple of strikeouts, issued 1 walk. Did have a wild pitch. She's thrown 30 pitches in total since she came in. And that was for Anna Brewer, who got the start. 2 2/3 for her. A couple of hits allowed, couple of strikeouts, 1 hit batter. Right on cue, that one actually gets Carly short, but immediately, no hesitation, John Schaefer says, no, she's got to stay here. So head coach Lindsay Leftwich has a couple of questions. And so the rule is you don't have to attempt to get out of the way if you're in the box, but you also can't lean over, or if you are set up and you're hit where your body is actually positioned out of the box at that moment, then it just counts as a ball. And that may be the argument that John Schaefer is giving right now. But Leftwich, not in agreement, shaking her head. Thought that should have been a base run or a board for NC State, but it'll be ball 1 instead. So again, if you're in the box, you don't have to attempt to move at all. But if you're, let's say, crowding the plate and part of your body is outside the box and you get hit, that's a different story. That'll miss to make it 2-0. Short was hit by a pitch last time up. Singled back in the first. Just a freshman, but someone who has emerged. And that pitch is launched. That'll go all the way to the wall in left center field. And Carly does not come up short. A leadoff double for NC State. She's going to take that over a hit by pitch any day. A 2-for-2 day so far. 3rd time Short finds herself on base. She's going to be in scoring position. No outs here for Lily Livingston. 0-for-2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Again, hit the 3-run home run yesterday. 42 RBIs. This is lifted in front of the warning track in center field, going back towards the wall as Jones. She makes the grab. It's out number 1, but Short utilizing the wheels to tag up and get to 3rd. Livingston just missed that pitch, but a productive out, moving the runner 60 feet closer. Less than 2 outs. Short can score in a few different ways. Sac fly, pass ball, ground ball hit to the right side. A lot of options here. Kendall Simmers swings at the first pitch. Oh, and 1 to start. That evens it up. Kendall Simmers alongside Kayla Feckel, Wynn Gore, Hannah Church, Bailey Edwards, part of the leadership group on this team. Taryn Massey, known for being the keeper of the culture, bringing the energy. In addition, Wynn Gore in particular, she's the vocal leader. Stands for what's right. That's how her teammates view her. Simmers would love to lead the way and bringing in the first run for NC State, and she just misses that pitch. Two count. Swing and a miss. Prstyko coming out on top. An important second out. And the 3rd strikeout for Zoe on the day. 165 on the season. A year ago, she had 74 in 96 2/3 innings pitched. She's now around 115-ish innings pitched this year with over double that amount. The improvement from year to year has been huge for this Stanford team. Morgan Talley still in to hit, fouls it into her leg. That's an 0-2 count early on. So Talley no longer in the circle after going the first 4 innings for the Wolfpack, but she's still in the box. Takes that pitch down. Morgan Talley now the designated player. Again, the reigning ACC and D1 softball freshman of the week. Fouls that back into the stands, right in front of the press box, and we have a fan catch. Well, you'd like to see the defense on the field, but why not off it in the stands as well? Some energy here in Stanford Softball Stadium after that. And staying alive is Morgan Talley. Fouls off the inside pitch. Talley hit a home run in her first ever at-bat this season. Became the 5th player in program history to hit 2 grand slams in the same season against Cal last weekend. Swing and a miss there from strikeout. Back-to-back Ks and a runner stranded on base. The Cardinal continued to roll defensively. 6-0 lead in place over the Wolfpack heading to the bottom of the 6th. Number 19, Stanford with the 6-0 lead over NC State. They took game 1 11-4 less than 24 hours ago. Have control here in game 2. It's bottom of the order starting things off here in the bottom of the 6th. Addison Shepard took ball 1. First pitch fouled just down that third baseline. Second pitch rather, 1-1. So the Stanford team coming in 5th in the ACC standings. They were picked to finish 3rd in the preseason poll after the reigning regular season champs, Florida State, and the reigning tournament champs, Clemson, who were picked 2nd. So that was ahead of Virginia Tech, Duke, and Virginia. All 5 of those teams have been ranked in the top 25 poll throughout the season. Clemson has slipped out of the top 25 rankings, but they took the series over Virginia, a ranked series victory. That was huge for them. Off speed, waiting on it. Shepard, but the backhand deep in the hole from short. Beautiful throw, and it's out number 1. Beautiful job by Carly Short. We're just gonna call her Carly Shortstop because that was deep in the hole. A solid, smooth backhand to start it off, and then uses the momentum off her back leg to make the long throw to first base in time. Smooth like butter. Sydney Bolifin takes ball 1. Mentioned that leadership group here for NC State. Kayla Feckel, part of that. She sneaks in a strike. One count here. Took a little off it, grounded over to second. Quick play over to first, Simmers gets it done. Back-to-back groundouts. Letting the defense work is Feckel. And it is back to the top of the order. So Kern, 4th AB of the day. First time she has seen Feckel. Did not see Week. First 3 ABs she went up against Morgan Talley. Solo home run and back-to-back strikeouts. Off speed in there. 1-1. Stanford finished tied for 4th in the regular season, had the number 5 seed in the ACC tournament a year ago. That pitch is gonna hit her. 71st career hit by pitch for Taryn Kern. That is a nation high for active players in Division I softball. Runner aboard with 2 outs for Emily Jones, who is 3 for 3. Couple of singles and a double. She has scored every single time. Talk about doing your job at the top of the order. The top 3 hitters in this lineup coming into the week, hitting .402 as a group, scoring nearly half of the runs Stanford has produced this season. Triple-digit RBIs. Nearly 60 walks. Bunted right in front of home plate. Beautiful thing from Emily Jones. The bunt single and a 4 for 4 day for the senior All-American. We have seen her do a little bit of everything. She hit a line shot for her first hit of the day, right back up the middle. She has chopped an infield base hit, found some green to get the double, and now lays down the bunt. But it looks like she is being called back to the box. So it was beautifully laid down in front of home plate. The only thing I can think of is that, did it potentially hit her while she was in the box, which would make it a foul ball, because umpire's saying it's 0-2 count. Grounds it over to first, bobbled, but handled and finished by Massey. It's a little anticlimactic for Stanford there, but the 3 unassisted over there to get out of the 6th. And now the Cardinal, 3 outs away from taking the series from NC State. They're up 6-0, heading to the 7th. Top of the 7th, Taryn Massey trying to keep things alive here for NC State, and will foul the first pitch from Zoe Prstyko. Six, 7, 8. Due up for the Wolfpack, down to their final outs. Pitch is up and out, even it up 1-1. I have it on good authority that it is actually head coach Lindsay Leftwich's birthday today. And win or lose, I know she would love to see some fight from her team here in the 7th. That is chopped over to short. Long throw from Mailer, handled by Kern. 1 up, 1 down. Hannah Church will now take her turn. She was due up. Ellington Whitaker going to be the pinch hitter. Takes the first pitch low and away. Not surprised to see Leftwich trying something new. Only a couple of hits on the day, 3 in total for NC State. Trying to mix it up. See if they can make something happen here. 2-0 count here as Gall will take a trip out to the circle to chat with Prstyko. Whitaker, a senior from Houston, Texas. Came to NC State by way of Baylor. First pitch just catches that outside corner after the conversation with her battery mate. 2-1. Foul tip to even it up at 2-2. Cardinal right now own the all-time series record, 3-0 over NC State. They only met a couple of times ever in program histories prior to this weekend. Whitaker stays alive. Hadn't met in 10 years. Two teams played each other back in 2014 and 2016. Stanford getting the wins both times, outscoring NC State 25-10. Last ranked win for NC State was back in 2024. So that is skied out into foul territory in right field. No man's land. Diving was Taryn Kern, but just out of reach. You gotta love the effort from the senior. Now in the 3rd season under Leftwich, 5 ACC series wins, 4 total ranked wins. They're down to their last 2 outs here in this series as Whitaker works the count to full. Payoff pitch. Low and away. Good eyes from Whitaker, and she'll make the most of her pinch hitting opportunity, drawing the walk and getting a much needed base runner aboard for the Pack. Michaela Marbury now stepping in. Walked last time, grounded out the time before that. Big swing at the first pitch to foul it off. Marbury has only ever played softball. As an athlete, she takes ball 1 there. Was inspired to play by her older sister. Played different positions as a utility, but moved to the outfield this fall. Feels at home there. Trying to get comfortable in the box here as it moves to a 2-1 count. Hit hard, but foul. Pulled it down that left field line. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marbury will have to protect. Fouled again. Room for Taryn Kern. She'll make the catch in foul territory by the wall, right next to Stanford's dugout. Coach Allister talked about how having Kern defensively over at first base has been a game changer in a lot of ways. Spent really her whole career leading into this season over at second, even started the first several games this season at second base, but has since moved to first. The freshman Addison Shepard has held down the right side of the infield next to her. But the experience playing second, you can see some of the athleticism, the range. It's been helpful. And if you're Prestico, you'll take that all day long. We have another pinch hitter here as NC State down to their final out. Tegan Thrunk. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Due up was Johnson. Thrunk getting the opportunity here to help her team mix it up. Whitaker did the same earlier, drew the walk. And that is punched into the air, deep into the outfield, running out of room. Little Thrunk in the trunk from Tegan. How about that for a 2-run shot here in the 7th? Happy birthday, Lindsay Leftwich. And the Wolfpack are on the board. The pinch hitters. Whitaker drawing the walk to get on base. Thrunk coming up with the bomb. That's hit number 4 for NC State. And again, you have to be happy with the fight late in the game like this if you're Lindsay Leftwich. Down to their final out. Pinch hitting, one of the toughest things to do in all of sports. You're cold. You haven't had the at-bats all game long, but you're locked in and make the most of the moment. That is something to build on going into Game 3 tomorrow. And it's back to the top of the order, back to the same defensive setup that Stanford has had all game long. Maya Townsend 0 for 3, a couple of ground outs, and she flew out in foul territory out to left last time. 5 infielders, wide open right field, bases clear. Pitch misses from Prestico. Two-0. In there for a strike. Fouled into her in the box. That'll be strike 2. NC State down to their final strike. Thought about it, but held. Ava Gall asked for help. John Schaefer looking to Vince Price, who confirmed she did not go. Full count. 2 outs, top of the 7th. Lined right to Shepard. And the game is over. Stanford takes the series from NC State, a 6-2 victory here in game 2. The Cardinal now 14-6 in conference play, 29-12 overall. NC State now 6-10 in the ACC, 25-19 on the season. The Cardinal had things clicking in all parts of the game. 6 runs on 7 hits and some big moments. Solo shots from Ava Gall and Taryn Kern, and then a big performance from Emily Jones going 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored to highlight the offense. The defense was clean, no errors, some smooth plays, and great strategy that worked every single time at the top of the order, and the pitchers were locked in. Some fight shown there at the end, especially by the pinch hitters from NC State. But Anna Brewer and Zoe Perstyko combining to help seal the series victory, and Stanford brings it all together. If you're the Wolfpack, some things to build on. Only 4 hits on the day, but some late fight there in the 7th that they can take into tomorrow. Can the Cardinal bust out the brooms in back-to-back weekends, or will the Wolfpack avoid the sweep? Join us tomorrow. We will be back here at Stanford Softball Stadium for Game 3 of the series. But thank you all for joining us here on a sensational Saturday here at Stanford. On behalf of our entire crew, I'm Jenna Becerra saying so long, and Stanford getting the victory again, 6-2 over NC State in the ACC series win.